Did you know that how you deal with difficult people can determine your emotions and peace throughout the day? Surely you've encountered someone who made you so angry that you wanted to react immediately. But have you ever wondered, is there a way to deal with them without letting your emotions take over? Surprisingly, even a Roman emperor figured out the secret to staying calm when facing difficult people. And today, you will discover these principles that can make your life less stressful and more enjoyable. Welcome to Wisdom Daily. In this video, we will explore 5 Stoic principles from Marcus Aurelius that help you effectively deal with difficult people in life. Keep watching to find out how these principles can change your life for the better. 1. Set clear expectations. You've probably woken up one morning full of energy, ready for a new day with plans in your mind. But then, suddenly, someone makes you upset, causing frustration right from the start of your day. Have you ever felt surprised and even felt like your whole day was ruined because of one person? But what if you knew beforehand that this would happen? Would your feelings change? Marcus Aurelius, the famous Roman emperor, shared an important secret he practiced every morning to deal with difficult people. He called it negative visualization. Don't get it wrong, this isn't about seeing everything through a negative lens, but about mentally preparing for the challenges and difficulties that may arise during the day. Imagine that you will encounter arrogant, ungrateful, rude people who will frustrate you. This doesn't mean you will become bitter or resentful towards them, but it prepares you so you won't be caught off guard when it actually happens. You might think, this seems like a strange approach, but in reality, this technique helps reduce the sense of disappointment when facing difficult situations. Think about it. If you knew in advance that a meeting would be tense, you would mentally prepare and act differently, right? The same applies here. When you know you will encounter unpleasant people during the day, you'll stay calm and won't let your emotions take over. This practice not only helps you have a realistic view of the world around you, but it also helps you maintain calmness in stressful situations. When you prepare yourself in advance, you won't be surprised, and it will be easier to handle any situation without feeling upset or angry. Just like when you exercise, you need to warm up your body before starting a tough workout. Similarly, negative visualization is your way of preparing for difficult situations in a proactive manner. The truth is, difficult people will always be part of our lives, but the key is how we can respond to them. 2. Letting go. Have you ever felt insulted or even humiliated by someone? That feeling can be really unpleasant, right? A rude comment or a disrespectful action can make you feel deeply hurt. But in those moments, have you ever asked yourself, why am I letting these words control my emotions? Marcus Aurelius taught us that revenge or responding to insults only lowers you to the level of the person who wronged you. He said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the one who committed the injustice." The reason is that when we respond with anger or insult, we are simply creating a negative cycle without changing the situation. In reality, we are allowing others to control our mood and emotions. But how can we avoid being influenced by the insults and rudeness of others? The answer lies in standing firm and responding calmly. Don't let temporary emotions cloud your judgment. Always remember that you cannot control the actions of others, but you can control how you react to them. If you choose to let go of the insult and not let it affect you, you will maintain inner peace. Imagine a situation where you are criticized or insulted at work. If you respond with anger, you might create an unnecessary confrontation, which could make the situation worse. But if you remain calm and choose to deal with the issue rationally, you will maintain respect from others and might even solve the problem more effectively. When you let go of negative emotions, you not only protect yourself from harm, but you also maintain calmness in all situations. This helps you avoid long-lasting resentment, which can drain your energy and negatively impact your mental health. In fact, once you learn to let go, you will realize that most of the insults are simply temporary reactions from others, and they are not worth your energy. Remember, life is too short to live in anger and resentment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "We cannot control what others do to us, but we can control how we respond." 3. Remember our shared humanity. When you encounter someone who is rude or behaves poorly, you may feel as though they are attacking you personally. You might think, "Why are they treating me like this?" And in those moments, it's easy to start feeling hurt and angry. But take a moment to think. There could be a reason behind their actions that you don't know about. Marcus Aurelius taught us that we all share a common existence, and we are not isolated individuals in the world. We all face challenges, suffering, and difficulties in life. Even the person you find most unpleasant may be having a bad day or dealing with problems that you cannot see. And sometimes their improper behavior is simply a reaction to their own struggles. Instead of viewing another person's actions as a personal attack, understand that they may be dealing with stress, pressure, or pain that you can't see. This doesn't mean you should accept their bad behavior, but rather that you understand they are not acting that way with the intent to hurt you. When you see them from a more compassionate perspective, you won't let anger or feelings of offense control you. Remember, we can never truly know what others are going through. Perhaps they've just lost a loved one, are struggling at work, or facing serious personal issues. Therefore, when you encounter a difficult person, instead of reacting with anger, think about the possibility that they are dealing with burdens that you don't know about. This is why compassion and understanding are key to maintaining calmness in all situations. When you put yourself in someone else's shoes, you will find it easier to remain calm and not let personal emotions take over. As Marcus Aurelius said, "We were born to work together like the feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower." If you understand that everyone can make mistakes because of ignorance or the pressures they face that you cannot see, you will find it easier to forgive them and continue peacefully on your own path. Just like you, the difficult people around you also need empathy. When you show understanding, instead of reacting with anger, not only do you help yourself stay calm, but you also create a positive space where both you and the other person can learn and grow together. 4. Action instead of just words. We all have moments when we feel frustrated with someone, and in those moments, it is easy to criticize them, condemn their actions, or even just respond with words. However, when you only speak without acting, you are simply creating a negative cycle without making any real change. So, how can you create positive change in difficult situations? Marcus Aurelius taught us that to truly demonstrate virtue, we cannot just talk about doing the right thing, we need to act. He was not only a philosopher but also someone who practiced Stoicism in his daily life. He understood that big changes start with small actions, not empty words. Talking about self-improvement or criticizing others will not help you make progress, but specific actions will help you create real change. Think about situations in life where you feel helpless or dissatisfied. You may complain about a friend you cannot communicate with, a colleague who makes work difficult, or even a rude person in a conversation. But if you only keep complaining and do nothing, nothing will change. You will only feel more stressed and frustrated. Instead of sitting back and criticizing, face these difficulties with action. Start with small steps, like showing empathy, creating a positive communication space, or simply being more patient in situations. The key is that you don't let emotions control you, but rather you demonstrate maturity and virtue, through practical actions. For example, if you encounter a person who constantly criticizes you at work, instead of reacting with anger, you can show patience and calmly explain the issue. You can also proactively find a solution to improve the situation, rather than just complaining about it. By doing this, you not only improve your relationship with that person, but you also demonstrate that you are capable of facing difficulties in a positive and constructive way. One important thing to remember is that positive action doesn't only affect others, but it also helps you improve yourself. When you act instead of just talking, you are not only changing the situation, but also changing the way you view life. You will feel more confident, stronger, and able to maintain calmness, even when facing significant challenges. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Act with virtue, and the world will automatically change in its own way." When you act, you are expressing a part of yourself without needing to speak much. And that is true strength. 5. Overcoming envy. Surely in life, you have experienced moments where you felt envious of someone, right? It could be a friend who has a better job, a colleague who got promoted quickly, or someone who seems to have an easier, freer life than you. Envy, even in small amounts, can create negative feelings and disrupt our minds. But does envy really bring anything good to your life? According to Marcus Aurelius's Stoic philosophy, envy is simply an emotion that takes away your freedom and happiness. When you envy what others have, you not only lose peace of mind, but also make yourself feel stressed and dissatisfied with your own life. Envy makes you view your life through a negative lens and makes you feel like you're lacking, even though you already have everything you need. So how do you overcome this feeling of envy? The simplest way is to compare yourself to your past self rather than to others. Think back to the achievements you've made, the steps you've taken in life. Ask yourself, have I been better than I was yesterday? Am I making progress? When you compare yourself to yourself, you will realize that you have grown and developed, even if your path is different from someone else's. Happiness is not about owning everything others have, but about being content with what you have and feeling the progress you've made in your own life. A very practical example is when you see a classmate or colleague achieving great success. Instead of feeling envy, think about how you can learn from them. Envy can separate you from reality and make you feel inadequate. But if you focus on self-improvement, you will feel spiritually wealthy. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius shared a profound thought. Our happiness does not come from external things, but from how we face challenges and perceive our life. This means that true happiness only comes when we stop comparing ourselves to others and start appreciating ourselves and what we have. So, whenever you feel envy, try to stop and ask yourself, can I become a better version of myself today? The answer will help you focus on personal development instead of getting caught up in negative emotions. When you overcome envy, you will realize that your life lacks nothing. And when you stop comparing yourself to others, you will find true freedom in your soul. The freedom to enjoy life the way you want, with what you have and are becoming. Summary. Today, we explored the 5 Stoic principles from Marcus Aurelius to deal with difficult people in life. First, you learned how to set clear expectations, preparing yourself mentally for stressful situations. Then, you saw how letting go of insults and rudeness helps you stay calm and unaffected by your emotions. Next, we understood that remembering our shared humanity is key to empathy and not hastily judging others' actions. Moreover, acting instead of just talking helps you create positive changes instead of just standing there complaining. Finally, overcoming envy will return true freedom and happiness to you when you stop comparing yourself to others. These principles not only help you deal with others, but also help you grow as a person, becoming a stronger and calmer version of yourself every day. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "We cannot change the wind, but we can adjust the sails." And that's what you can do with these Stoic principles. You can adjust how you react and respond to every situation. Before we wrap up, I want you to think for a moment. How will you respond when you face a difficult person? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your perspective. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Daily for more valuable lessons on living a peaceful, happier life. Remember, every day is an opportunity for us to become stronger. Take action today, and you'll see your life change day by day.